Hey, good evening, guys. We're at the Strasburg Railroad, and I'm aboard one of the open-air cars.
Welcome aboard the Strasburg Railroad. We're about to turn the clock back about 100 years to 1915, which is a more relaxed time when almost every little boy's dream to begin hearing great steam locomotives riding the rails in America. This is train number 600, the Evening Breeze, departing promptly at 6 p.m. for Fairview, Edson Shade, Cherry Hill, Cross Road, Carpenters, Filer Crossing, Plymouth Place Junction, and Paradise, Pennsylvania. Now, folks, you were not planning on going to any of those places today. You may very well be on the wrong train. We're a very old and very safe railroad, so we must ask for cooperation in following a few basic safety rules so we can all enjoy our trip today. Please keep your head, hands, arms, small children, selfie sticks, and yes, ladies, your husbands inside those coach windows at all times. There are obstructions and close clearances along the line, and we want no one injured. If you've raised your window on this beautiful afternoon, and it looks like just about every single one of those coach windows is open, make sure that it is raised high enough to be securely fastened with that small safety latch. If you don't do so, these windows can be found unexpectedly. We guarantee if it lands on your finger, it will hurt. You may not move from car to car while the train is in motion or ride on the end platforms. Never leave our train at any time unless directed to do so by a uniformed member of our train crew. Our equipment is very old, deserves the very best of treatment, so please help us by keeping your shoes off the seats and cushions. Bare feet and stocked feet are okay, so if you really want to put your feet up, take off those shoes and leave them on the floor. Finally, there is absolutely no smoking permitted anywhere on board our train today with the exception of number 90 yourself. And she'll be doing no smoking for every last one of us today. We thank you very much for your cooperation. Our train will be underway momentarily, so all aboard for Paradise. All aboard.
Alright, guys, so my intro got a little preempted by Strasburg's intro. But as you can see, I'm on the open-air car. I am riding behind locomotive number 90, which you've already seen a bunch of videos of me rail fanning. Number 90 is a decapod, so it's got 10 driving wheels. It's a I believe it's a 210, not a 410. I've only filmed it all day. I ought to know that by now, right? Anyway, I'm actually here. There's Heath. Say hi to Heath. This is Sparky 107's meetup. So there's a bunch of us YouTubers on this train. So I will put links in the description to this video, and I encourage you to check out their channels as well. And as for me, I've ridden this train many times when I was a kid. I've rail fanned it a couple times as an adult, but this is actually my first time back here riding the train as an adult, so this is even special for me today. Alright, we're getting ready to go here.
Did you hear those train whistles out there? That's the sound of history and the call of heritage. It also means our journey to Paradise, Pennsylvania is about to begin. And rest assured, everyone here is in for something special today. As our welcome guests, all you need to do is sit back, enjoy the view, and make a few memories with us along the way. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome aboard the Strasbourg Railroad.
There you go, Harry Potter fans. That is track 9 3/4. There's a building. Oh. And we're passing by the engine shop. There's $4.75 put away for the evening.
Right now, you're passing through a working rail yard. These tracks help us transport lumber, grain, steel, and biofuels to regional businesses. But there was a time when you didn't hear our steam whistle at all. By 1957, our rails and equipment were in pretty bad shape. And with no one to manage operations, it looked like our story was bound to end. Our rescue would come a year later, when 24 dedicated railroad buffs decided to put down their own money, time, and labor to save this short line from abandonment. Every nickel of profit was put back into the railroad. Steam railroad again becomes specialty here at Strasbourg. It's nationally recognized for their expertise, steam locomotive repair and restoration. And we're proud to say that has benefited hundreds of railroads and museums all around the country. We're most proud to have that talent used right here. We give them a love of old-time railroad.
And up there is the Red Caboose Motel. And even though most of those cabooses are no longer red, they are all hotel rooms that you can actually rent and stay in. And I'm not staying the night on this trip, but I have stayed there before.
Right here in the heart of Lancaster County. It all began in 1832 when Pennsylvania legislature chartered the Strasburg Railroad, allowing the construction of this 4.5 miles of track that we call short line. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what allowed this piece of faster than the Dutch country. That locomotive up front will run to a half-ton of coal in this round trip, all hand shoveled by our firemen into a 2,000-degree fire box. It's exactly that kind of hard work and backbone that's helped this railroad survive more than hard turns. We've weathered many storms in our time. We've come a long way, and we're happy to share that legacy with you today. Oh, in case you're wondering about the speed of our trains, the oldest timetable we've ever found for our short line was in the Strasburg newspaper dated August of 1852. We still follow that same basic schedule today. So I can tell you that we're traveling at a comfortable speed that's under 60 miles per hour. Way under 60 miles per hour. Here one of our steam engines for their daily service is not as simple as turning the ignition key. The coal locomotive can take up to 6 hours to fire up properly. This is done by gradually raising the temperature inside the firebox to increase steam pressure in the boiler. It's a process known as hustling. Our staff will also provide a quick inspection of the locomotive. You may get a multitude of
This is what they call the Cherry Crest Adventure Farm. I actually don't remember this being here when I was a kid, but it sure looks like a lot of fun. I know it's a pretty popular place now. You got some stuff on this side of the tracks, and then you got some stuff coming up on this side too. Got some freight cars coming up on a siding here. A lot of people don't know this. They think of this as a passenger railroad, which it is, but they also have a freight division, and they move these cars between Strasburg, where we were, and we'll be coming out to the Norfolk Southern main line. So Norfolk Southern picks up and drops off. Then here's the picnic grove here. We used to get off this train when I was a kid and have our lunch here and then catch another train going back. It looks like they still do that. Although we are the last train of the day, so that's not going to be happening today, obviously.
Oxford and Southern. We used to call her Little Old and Slow. The railroad was abandoned in 1918, and the scrappers took up the rail so quickly that they stranded old number 6 out on the line with no way to get back. Sometimes we blow our whistle for Carpenter's Crossing. The ghost of old number 6 will answer us back. Did someone say echo? Why, we pay that ghost $27.50 a day just to do that for us. That makes her the highest paid employee on our railroad. There's nobody ever seen that ghost, but somebody keeps cashing those paychecks.
And speaking of ghosts and Ghostbusters, guys, look who we've got rail fanning the train today. recognize Alan from Revenge of the Apocalypse? Why does it seem every time I ride a train, he's standing by the roadside filming, huh? I gotta find out what's going on with that. Sneak over to this side of the train for just a couple of minutes here. Excuse me, sorry. Pollen allergies are in overdrive this time of year, guys. Sorry about that. Hopefully, as this train starts to round the bend to the left over here, we'll be able to see a glimpse of the engine. Maybe not as well as I hope, because I can't really, there's too much close to the side of the tracks. I can't really get the camera out of the side of the car safely on this ride, so I'm not going to do it. But we'll actually be coming out to the Norfolk Southern Main Line, and it's also the Amtrak Main Line, and it's the only section of Amtrak rail in the country other than the Northeast Corridor that is electrified. So they do run electric trains between Philadelphia and Harrisburg. And I did earlier this morning, I did film a city sprinter pulling, I think it was 4 or 5 of the old Amfleet cars. You won't be seeing those Amfleet cars, especially the cab cars, the cab control cars. You will not be seeing them much longer. And if we get lucky, we might see one go by while we're out here. This is approaching what's called Lehman Place at Paradise Junction, and I find it really interesting that a town called Paradise has the meeting of really 3 different railroads, aptly named. And so I'm actually going to go back to the other side. Coming up here, you'll see where I was filming from this morning. This is actually a park built for rail fans. We do have quite a few of those in Pennsylvania. They know we like to watch trains here, and they're happy to give us safe places to do so. That's a nice group of guys that I met up with actually at the Ghost Whistle Crossing earlier this morning. Really nice group of guys. Let me have a space to get a good view. And hopefully they're going to check out this channel. I enjoyed meeting you guys this morning.
Delivery to come from London Place arrived on February 22nd, 1861, when President-elect Abraham Lincoln made a short stop in Lancaster County on the way to his Washington inauguration. Thousands gathered around these.
It's really special when you do see one of the new Amtrak trains flying through here at 100 miles an hour right next to one of these old steam engines. It's like the past meets the present. It's pretty cool.
The crowd was equally enthusiastic to see Mary Todd Lincoln. When she stepped out and stood beside her much taller husband, Lincoln eloquently quoted,
Now you can see the long ship
maximum speed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination of Paradise, Pennsylvania, located along Route 30 in eastern Lancaster County. We'll be here for just a few minutes while we switch our locomotive around to the opposite end of our train for the return trip. The creaking and hissing that you hear out of our cars is the sound of the train crew performing a brake test. The brakeman checks the brakes on the last car and passes signals up to the engine crew at the head end of the train. This procedure is required by federal law.
Oh, he's going up.
All right, so if you heard the intercom, what they're doing, they're disconnecting engine number 90 from the front of the train. They're going to run around. We're going to see it come through on this track here. They're going to hook it up to the other end and pull us back to Strasburg.
Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That makes 98 years old, the youngest operating steam locomotive here in Strasbourg, but also the largest, weighing in a whopping 180 tons. She originally ran on the Great Western Railroad, carrying sugar beets through the foothills of the Rockies. Her tender carries 15 tons of coal and 9,000 gallons of water. And a little known fact, number 90 is one of only two in the U.S. that have never been retired, going straight from active freight service for the Great Western and active passenger service here at Strasbourg. We've been working very hard to get the keys, and without them, we wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
So what you get to do, guys, is you flip these seat backs around, and now you'll be facing forward for the return trip. And unfortunately, I don't see any Amtraks coming.
Then when we get back, you get pictures. Without the picture.
Alright, so a few things to note as we get ready to head back from Paradise Junction to Strasburg, Pennsylvania. You'll notice the two leftmost sets of rails, they're actually mounted on concrete ties instead of the regular wood ties, and that's due to the high-speed trains that pass through here. Amtrak does not run their Acela train, but they do run the City Sprinters and Metroliners, which from what I understand do pass through at the speeds between 100 and 110 miles per hour. And then this inner track here with the regular wood ties, that's actually Strasburg's track. That's what you saw engine number 90 pass by just a couple of minutes ago. You'll also notice, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but those Amtrak tracks are banked around those curves. That's again to help with the higher speeds. And we are underway. We're now the second car from the back of the train. I flipped the bench so that we're facing forward again for the ride, even though I'm in the exact same seat. And we're going to do the ride from Paradise back to Strasburg.
There are 21 working farms along this route, many of them owned by Amish families. You wouldn't be surprised if you saw more than one horse-drawn buggy on your way to visit our railroad today. There's about 32,000 Amish people in the eastern half of this region. Their German and Swiss ancestors emigrated to Pennsylvania as early as the 18th century. They devoutly practice a secular life. Pennsylvania Dutch country is the fertile farmland of land. Faith and hard work, and reliance on their conveniences. The average Amish farm is about 80 acres in size. They raise dairy cattle like cows, corn, wheat, rye, soybean, barley, famous Lancaster County, and tobacco. But today they started farming. There are more than 2,000 Amish-owned businesses in this area, and they're moving carpentry, painting, plumbing, and masonry. No matter the profession, home is the center of all Amish-related events. Even church services, which can have as many as 200 people, are held inside Amish homes. We do have a lot of questions about the next farming leaders. They are integral to the heritage and vitality of our community. They were the severed lifestyle, very much involved in economy and public functions.
they got tractor pull small north. That's a ride There's a battle zone. Around Fair Racer. Apple blaster. Oh, they got apple.
Well, folks, this is our last stop for this train, East Strasbourg Station. We hope you enjoy this journey on America's oldest short line. Be sure to take some time to talk to our railroad staff. Our conductors, engineers, and red caps are always happy to share their expertise and answer your questions. And before you leave us today, I'd recommend paying a visit to our gift shops and cafe. On behalf of all of us here at Strasbourg, we thank you for taking the time to visit and share our love of old-time railroading in beautiful Lancaster County.
Alright guys, that is a round trip ride on the Strasburg Railroad. It's the last train of the day and we are now back at the station. And I just wanted to say thank you to Sparky 107 for hosting this meetup. And thank you all for watching, and I'll see you down the tracks.